into a time portal. Little Einstein. And then we'll transform. Okay, now we see this younger us probably shouting or something. Wait, 20-year-old, where were we?
All right, let's start. Yeah.
Over the summer, you have turned a new age. I still haven't. October. Let's like try to think of some advice for 20-year-olds. That right? Or are we doing like to ourselves? Because honestly, if I am gonna talk to a 20-year-old, like I hope it's someone like me at least. But or would it be like the people like in this generation? Like no cap. No. Okay.
Oh my god, that's so true. It's so different. Oh my god. Anyways, that's a whole nother conversation. Gen Zs.
Oh my god, Gen Z? I used to think those are like made up, like Gen X or but why is it so different for millennium?
Millennium?
Are we millennials? Oh, I said it right this time. Millennials?
There you go. Actually, I think we are at the edge of oh.
It's a hard word to pronounce.
You
Millennials.
messed me up.
Millennials. There you go.
Millennials.
So
So I think we're at the edge. At the edge of millennials.
We're like a joke to them. They're like, you're like you're that generation. Which is the next generation after that?
Millennial is actually Gen Y, and then Gen Z. So after us is Gen Z. So yeah, pretty cool.
So after Baby Boomer, it became Gen Y.
Yeah.
Gen Z.
Yeah.
Why?
Why?
So. Why? And why Z?
Oh my god, the one before Baby Boomer is called Silent Generation.
Oh wow.
All right, let's make it to ourselves.
Okay. Let's
All
get
right, so
back
we are looking back. Yes.
Looking back.
We're looking back.
We're in a time portal right now. Let's like pretend we're in a time portal. We're going on a trip on our favorite rocket ship into a time portal. Little Einstein. And then we'll transform. Okay, now we see this younger us probably shouting or something. Wait, 20-year-old, where were we?
All right, let's start. Yeah, okay. We're in place. Where are we? Well, that's like after high school, right? 2 years after high school, right?
Yes.
Because we graduated at 18. Okay, 2 years after high school. You're in college, second year of college. I'm in Europe in my gap year.
I mean, it is the college years, so you have more time in uni instead of in high school. Like you go to school and then you come home like after, and then stuff like that. But yeah,
if you guys want to hear more about her stories, you can watch our previous 2 episodes.
Oh my god, yes.
You'll hear more about her adventures.
That was after college too. It's like, damn, like I really like did so much to my liver. One advice, my first one, that I want to give to myself is that don't eat too much junk food, even though you're not getting fat, because it will come to you later. The reason why I would eat like shit, it's because it's cheap and it's delicious, and I didn't get that fat. Like I would not have like abs and stuff.
Wait,
but
were you one of those who could eat a lot but then not get affected?
Yeah, but after I hit like I think 22 or 23, like that did not the alcohol like started spiking me.
Oh, okay.
Chubby, I got it chubby.
It's not alcohol, but like
it's everything. It's everything. Also, like the food afterwards. Like even when I cut alcohol, it was like now still there.
Yeah, no. So I was eating a lot right when I was younger because I would never gain weight, and then people always like, oh, you're so skinny, and like I just kept eating whatever I want. It doesn't matter. And then as I hit like 25, 26, that's when it starts to come out. I'm like, what's wrong? Like, I'm eating the same, but my body's changing.
And it almost like, even when you cut down a lot on your eating, like now it's so hard to lose it. Like it's just so hard. And I'm like, maybe if I didn't eat that crap, and I feel like now
All
it's
the
so hard.
foundation, right? The
Yeah.
fat foundation.
And I feel like I'm just addicted to junk food now. Like now it's just so hard to say no. After a holiday, when you get to pig out, because it's a break,
Yeah.
it's getting back into it. It's so hard. It's almost like you break like a habit. Like it's rehab. It's literally rehab. Like it's so hard for me to break off the junk food. Oh my god.
I mean, I still think you went pretty far or almost extreme, right? You went from like eating whatever you want, like all this stuff, and then counting your macros. Like I feel like that is extreme. Even though you're kind of used to it, like for me, like I think that's that's
it's
like,
pretty. Yeah, woo. It's hard. Like when some people, like I have friends that would be like, when they start talking down on themselves and saying, oh I hate how my body looks and stuff like that, and I will actually like give that advice because that's how I lost so much weight while eating what I want, which is something that I like, because like I would eat like freaking spicy ramen and stuff, but at the same time, that's like it's a lot of things to do. It is a lot of things to do, and I only started it with Tyler. Like it helps with a partner, that's for sure. How were you like though? How was the gap year?
Well, I'll start with how I was at 20. I think so because it was my second year, I guess, in Europe. And honestly, I feel like that was the year where I made genuine friendships, or like where I was, because I used to be like, I didn't really talk about myself so much. And in my second year, in this gap year, I stayed because of the genuine friendships that I've made. And it was like a whole new world for me, kind of, because I don't know, if you've been like so closed your entire life, and then you get to this gap year, and then you're just like in a new place, new people, you're kind of given like a second chance. So if you ask me if I would recommend, I would say hell yeah. But I also don't know, because like I feel like the environment that I had was good and I was lucky with it, but I don't know if like all programs or all gap years are like that, right? Like I feel like if you go for a gap year, you would want to find people that are kind of like with similar values or similar
interests,
exactly. Yeah. So it's people that you could actually connect to. Because like maybe like high school years weren't that great for me, except for volleyball and my teammates.
That's nice.
But other than that, it was like, I don't really see kind of long term in Macau. So like I had to leave and try something new, and it was scary at first, obviously, because I didn't know anybody. And I think it takes like a certain level of guts and courage to do that. But also, I think very similar to yours, where I had to leave home. That was the main motivation for me to like, I had to leave this environment to find myself, sort of thing.
Yes.
What's your second advice?
Like, yeah, I would tell myself like not to post cringy posts on Facebook, thinking like shit, okay? And like especially like because I never, I guess as a girl, I felt like I can't be direct to guys for some reason. I don't know, like somehow like I grew up like daydreaming about these chick flicks, like thinking guys act that same way, like, and you gotta play hard to get and shit like that. But dude, guys that age don't even look for that shit, because they wanna they obviously wanna just live life. And I don't know why my head was just always in the clouds about that, and I just like feel so emotional all the time, I feel like. And I feel like I am so dramatic, and so I would like tell myself like calm down, and there's a lot of perspectives, like it's not just your perspective, like what's right for you. And I feel like I was so selfish, like stop being so selfish, just learn to look at other people's perspectives.
That's funny, that's one of my points too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like mine is similar in a sense where it's like stop being so selfish and stop thinking about yourself so much. You know how like when we're younger we're so self-conscious about how we look, how we dress, and how our Facebook or social media looks, whatever, right? But like and I think that kind of correlates with like you just think about yourself, but like oftentimes people are too busy thinking about themselves than look at how big your nose is or how big your forehead is, you know? Like they're too busy thinking about themselves. They're not going to care whether your thighs are big or skinny. Nobody's going to care. Nobody cares. I mean, you know what I mean? Like
No, exactly.
So it's like I wish that kind of just I wish just the 20-year-old me would just kind of be yourself and stop being so freaking self-conscious, because you don't need to. There's no need to. Exactly. You're the only one kind of putting that in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and like posting those freaking cringy quotes for me, like it's just a cry for help.
Bro, do you want to read a few? Like
no, it's gross. Let me see. Actually, let me see.
I saw some of mine and I'm like, oh my god, what the hell? What are you doing?
First, I said, "Hey, new year, new me." Hashtag 2017. And then the second one is, my New Year's resolution is 1920 x 1080. Like the resolution aspect, you know, that year actually. And I remember that time I partied with my cousins, and my cousin's friends were like, they were chanting Mia Khalifa, Mia Khalifa. I don't know if you know who Mia Khalifa is. Okay, there you go.
I do.
Yeah, and I was just like, well, whatever. Is it because I'm half Sri Lanka, not even Indian or Arabic or whatever she is? But it's like, hey, that's hilarious. But I was like, I'll take it as a compliment. But yeah, it was hilarious.
Like in your class?
No, this was with my cousins in Bohol.
Oh.
In Philippines. Okay. Like when I visited them, like with my family.
Oh god.
Which I did when I was 20.
They're so okay. Funny. I have one here where I went hiking in the end of 2016, and I said, Christmas present from the mountain and the people I went with. Thank you. And a heart. And this is when I was making videos. This is when reels were even a thing. Like I make like short clips of different views. Like you see? I mean, kind of cringe still, but it's not too bad. No, I just post a lot of freaking memes. Oh, here, I have a cringy one right here. I got 68 likes. What the hell? Okay. No offense, but I don't understand why people gotta make these charity walks. If y'all want to help people, why don't y'all walk to where the people are needed and volunteer out there instead of causing traffic? Hey, you're not wrong. Third, okay, for me, what I would tell myself is stop following the rules so strictly. I don't know, I just wish, I guess I did more, instead of like being so confined and all the older people's thinking and how you should live your younger years. Like, it's so limiting, and I feel part of that is one of the reason it took me so long to find who I am, and it's annoying. Like, why do you do that? Why not just let kids, you know, like, I don't know, fail, let them fail, let them make mistakes. Yeah. I mean, obviously not like huge mistakes, but like let them make minor mistakes so they learn from it. Like, you can't protect your child forever. Yeah. That's true too. I feel like there's times I will like think about it and I understand it coming from, like, if I think about what my mom or like my dad did that I didn't really like, and then like I would understand it, but at the end of the day, like, no, I'm not gonna be that type of person. I'm gonna break the generational chain, you know, like even with or without like strict parents, people find themselves like when they find themselves. I feel like also when you do find yourself, you didn't really find yourself, because you're gonna find a new self. You know what I mean? Back then, it changes. You took like pride in like following the, you know, you're obeying and stuff like that, and at that time that's the type of person you were, and I think like that time it made you happy in a way, you know what I mean? But obviously, like, we all change. Yeah. And yeah, we all change. That's one thing too. Like,
I want to
It's true.
say.
I think you don't have to figure out, like, I think another thing, like, kind of related to that is you don't have to figure everything out in your 20s, not even in your
No.
30s. You don't have to feel like you have to figure it out.
Yes.
Like, kind of just let it go, let go of control.
That's
You
how
don't need
I
to.
live life. I like go with the way. I always say that I go with the wave, go with the wave. Because I get what I get, you know. Like I grew up thinking that, like I get what I get because, especially as an immigrant, like I'm just like, oh, I can't do that because I have no white card. Like but I keep giving myself excuses. Now that I don't have an excuse, it's like, oh, I really can do this. Whoa, I can actually earn more money and get these part-time jobs and stuff like that. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, like one more thing I also wanted to say for my 20-year-old self, because I remember myself downing myself a lot
Oh my god,
because
yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, I especially with what other people say about me, and it's just like, but I know my limits. Like my mom always tells me, know your limit. You know, like maybe I don't know my
True.
limit around tequila shots, but I know my limit on like um procrastination on school or procrastination on like oh the stuff that I need to study and things like that. Like I know it doesn't look like that I'm like attentive to my study and stuff, but there's times like people think that my life is like my Instagram is my life, and they're like, oh, why are you partying so much? Why are you doing like with your life? Like blah blah blah. Like, I'm sorry if you don't like seeing the stuff that I do. Like, why are you following me on Instagram? Like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm just like, I feel like I had a lot of self-doubt at that time, but I would tell myself, don't, because you got a job because of that after, you know, because of the fact that I was more outgoing or like I show my potential in like situations.
You put yourself out there. Yeah.
Because what gives you a job is not your degrees or the scores you make in school, unless it's the top notch scores, but it's the networking,
Yeah.
it's networks. Like it's the networks that gonna get you because you don't have no experience yet. Like at least I didn't because I couldn't have no part-time job back then, but still.
I have one more. What I tell myself, I guess more in terms of hobbies or things I like to do, I'd say like try more new things, and you don't have to be good at everything. Because I think sometimes being bad at something made me stop doing it because I wasn't good enough. But the point is that you enjoy it
like
and
it.
yeah.
Oh my God,
And
it's like
that's what I
me
would
with
tell myself.
breakdancing.
Like, yeah.
I was always around the guys, and it's like, and they're usually always better than me or strong because they're stronger too, so they can like
Right.
hold stuff better. And I'm like just so insecure. Like I
Right.
think I only found out after coming to America that I am kind of an introvert. Like I push myself to be. I am ambivert. I'm ambivert. Like I push myself to be extrovert in times, and like breakdancing, they would be like
Yeah.
the guys like are so prideful sometimes, like with each other, like especially Asian b-boys, so when with each other, like just so like, oh, what you looking at, like what you think you got the shit. I'm like, dude, I'm not trying to get yeah, like, I'm not trying to get anyone's shit or like turf. I just wanted to learn the six step or whatever, like, and I had friends
And
around
you
me that were
enjoyed it, right?
yes,
Yeah. You
and I hit,
enjoyed
and
it.
then like when I actually became like okay good kind of, and my friends were like, oh, you should like join us to the b-boy battles and stuff, and I love the vibe and everything, but I hate being in there like in the spotlight and in the like doing a battle because I just don't feel like battling. Like I don't feel like winning anything. I don't feel like I can win anything.
Yeah.
Like I know that they have a freestyle circle, but I don't want any attention type of thing. I guess I am this
Yeah.
antisocial kind of. But yeah, people will always try to push me. Oh my God. And there was this one time, there was the MC host. The MC host was like, any B girls in the crowd? And my friend was like, oh, here, like that. And I was like already not like dancing that time anymore. So I was like, oh my God, don't stop. And then the guy was like, she's not a B girl. I've never seen her in these battles and stuff like that. And I was just like, oh my God, I was so embarrassed. I felt so
He
embarrassed.
said that in front of everyone?
Everyone, and so loud. And I walked away. I left because it was just so embarrassing.
Like, screw you.
Right? I know. I wish I was that tough, but yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah. I talk a lot of
Same.
shit, but when it comes to confrontation, it's like, like I'm just bored. But then afterwards, I think of stuff to say, and I'm like, I really talked myself into like, oh, if you're not gonna be that good, you shouldn't be doing it at all. Like, but just stop.
Exactly. Yeah, that mentality is so bad because it just stops you from going further.
Dude, it's such good like exercise too. I just realized like every time when I do it, like I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, I need to stretch more. Like I can't
Yeah.
anymore. But you're right,
Yeah.
and
For
it's
me, for
just so
me,
annoying.
for that, in terms of that mentality, is more in singing. Like, I think because I was like, oh, like I'm not as good. Why try? And I'm like, now thinking back, I'm like,
Your
that's so
voice is
dumb. Like,
great. Your voice is
thank you,
amazing.
thank you.
We
But
should do
like,
a
yeah.
intro with your voice. We should like, and I should try to rap. Come on! Oh my God, that's so funny. Like it doesn't have to be so good, you know. But it would be so
That's a
cool.
practice for us to be bad at it, but still be proud of it.
Yes. It's like this podcast. Like we don't think we're gonna be good at all. I've said that from the start. I'm doing this for fun, like to
Yeah,
catch up with
yeah.
like shit, and it's fun to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think I could speak for both of us. We don't regret anything that because like all of those made us who we are now, and obviously like you can't expect a 20-year-old, 50-year-old to be that wise and know everything about life, but that's what if someone's listening, that's what I would say. Don't be scared to be bad at something and just do it. If you like doing it, just do it.
It's one advice I'll tell myself. Sometimes it's better just not to say anything. I feel like
Oh my
before
god, yeah.
I always feel like I
Sometimes
have to
it's better
speak
to
my
shut up.
mind. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so true. And it's just like there's times like I feel like I just have to say something, or like if I don't say something, like it's like I don't know, but there's times where I can just shut the fuck up, and it's like nothing I can do
Sometimes
about
it's more mature for you to not say it than to
it.
keep it in,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And there's times it's like you gotta ask yourself, are you just looking for attention? There's times you gotta like look at yourself in the face and look at your own mistakes. I'm telling myself that because it's like, well, she'll probably not
Yeah.
even listen.
That's life. C'est la vie.
Yeah, c'est la vie. Yeah, like, oh yeah, I wrote down this one also. Like, everyone has a different way and reason for studying. That's one thing I also wrote that is like a pretty good advice. I feel like just because I went to school because I just wanted to stay, right, and also have an easy pass. So I did communication media because I am already good at that because I already like learned that by
Yeah.
myself. But obviously the technical stuff and stuff, I learn animation,
Yeah.
which is kind of still my, I
Yeah.
guess, interest, right? But yeah, like everybody has their
But
own
yeah, that
pace.
is one of the point. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
and
go to college or not.
hmm, go if
What would
whenever
you
you
say
want to.
actually?
I I would like I'm more like what you said, like go with the flow, you know. I was like, if I pass, then okay, then I'll go. Like I passed with two IPM first, and then the UMAC, and obviously I took UMAC because it was more of like my field, the media, and that one
Yeah.
is crazy because I did not even think of that like before. I was like, oh, should I do something like, I don't know, dentistry, like something that I can make money? But dude, I don't know shit about biology. Like I can't memorize that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, my scores were not good enough for that. So that's why I did media and hope for the best. Like obviously I did not know I was gonna find a job. But yeah, like and
Yeah.
it's funny in America, like I realized that there are colleges for partying. Like there's party colleges, they call it. Like it's like people go there mainly to party, and that's why like it's easier to get in or something like that. Like uh, it's
Mm.
just like a thing for here, like, oh, when you go to college you party a lot. But obviously
That's
there's
so
also,
interesting.
I know, and also like there's the more serious schools where they do still have parties, but you have to pass. Like, you got to be like smart enough to like pass your grades and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And here really matters
think-
like which school you go to, like in
Oh my
social
God, yeah.
statuses. Yeah, it's weird.
But also, I think if, let's say, like, if I was 20-year-old and I'm thinking whether to go to college or not, because that seems to be more of a question now than it was for us when we were younger, when we were 20, right? Like, when we were 20, it was like, okay, yeah, of course, everyone's going to college. But now there seems to be more question. But I think that, like, it also depends where you are, because in America, I would say it's a lot easier for you to make money without a degree than it is in Macau. Like, in America, you could totally, like, I don't know, like, start your own business from scratch and I don't know, do online business or even stock, like, whatever, real estate people do. There's so many more opportunities. It feels like, it feels like there's more. I know.
Plus, college is way more expensive here.
Oh my God, you're gonna go in debt and everything, but
Student loans, like, it's ridiculous how much money. Oh my God, I compared like the tuition of the most expensive one in Macau, and here it's still 5 times more. It's crazy.
But you know that I guess the funny thing is houses here are much cheaper than it is in Macau. Macau, like, houses are crazy expensive. That's just
of course.
Fact, but yeah,
it's like a New York City, like, because it's a city. I bet a city like like more expensive. But yeah, you're right. It's just you have to like always see the situation at hand, obviously, I feel like. And
it's different
I feel like it would be easier now than before if, like, with paying yourself. I mean, obviously, if you're not going to a very expensive school. Plus, there's all online courses now. But I saw I saw like some people, like some rappers or whatever, to get like university degrees.
Yeah, you could totally do like Google courses and then work at Google. There's so many more opportunities now. If that's what you want. But
that's true. No, you never know, dude. Like, I feel like if the past jobs accepted me and I missed out on this job, like, I would, like, I wouldn't even have known this job, if I wasn't passed on the other one. So think about it. Think about it. And only if you really, really like it. Okay. Because in America it's huge, and there's everybody's like looking for somebody. So many people are trying to be entrepreneurs here that there's so many vacant jobs, and we're such hardworking people compared to them. Oh my God, it's crazy. Like, our mentality of work is so different.
It is. Work ethic is different for sure.
Yasmin and I would feel bad for like knowing that we could work more, but we're so tired that we're not, we're trying to take a break, but we'd like make us feel bad about resting. You know what I mean? And then you're like stressed both ways. It's like, even when you're resting, you're stressed out. Like, deal with it. Yeah.
Anyway, so that's our advice.
I'm gonna edit a lot of these things because it's just, I feel like I went off the rails a lot of times. I know that. But yeah,
sometimes we need to talk.
Yeah, rant out loud. So it helps to talk to your friends, okay, guys? Like, to rant it all out. Okay, people you trust that won't gossip. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So hopefully these advice will help you guys out, or something, or you can laugh at us because we're boomers now. We're practically boomers. Boomer age.
Yeah. I mean, to them, millennials is kind of like boomers, right? We're like the older.
We're the old people.
Well, that's fine.
Do we look old to you?
Exactly. We're still like in our prime years,
My joints don't feel the same way. I should get back at breakdancing though. Just because it's like, it really does, like, dude, I mentioned to my boss that I used to break dance, and I was like, oh, can you teach my son how to break dance? And I'm like, what? Yeah, I hope they don't ask one more time. I said, because they asked me when I was in a holiday, and I was like, oh, maybe when I get back. And I didn't reply.
Oh no.
Hopefully they don't like say anything. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Love you guys. Bye. Like and subscribe.
Bye. Hope you liked it.
Oh yeah, look. It's Kakashi Sensei.
I don't know them.
That's from Naruto. Oh my god. Okay. Let me stop it.